across LC with your hosts, Jeff Alsman and Cody Zipman.
And welcome to the latest edition of the A2Z Across LC podcast. I'm Jeff Alsman. Cody Zipman is in the house, and we want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. We are in that
happy
Thanksgiving mode here on the program. And Cody, happy Thanksgiving to you. I'm sure you got lots of things to be thankful for.
You, man. My family. LC.
Absolutely. Sure.
We are.
LC.
Yes. I'm trying to do a post right now.
Trying to post
for our
on
podcast. I got a picture of you and producer O, director O.
Tilt your head back a little bit so people can make sure they can see how you look. Appreciate you going to great extents.
I got to get the views, got to get the likes. Got to get the likes. Athletics, or LC Athletics on the Insta, we're approaching 800. I'm trying to chase down my soccer team.
That's awesome. So, and this, the characterization is perfect. I'm more the Puritan, and you're more the turkey.
You're more the even keel, and I'm the fun.
Or that. So we just wanted to kind of help.
You just called me a turkey, man.
No, I didn't. I just say you're more though, not completely.
Is there like a Thanksgiving song that we should sing? There's a lot of Christmas songs, but
lots of Christmas songs. We're getting close to those. We'll maybe talk about Christmas songs at a later date.
I went to my daughter's it's not a pageant. What is it? It's a
recital.
Concert? I don't know. It was for Halloween.
They had
like 20 different songs for Halloween that I didn't know, but there was no Thanksgiving one.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's going to be a Christmas one.
I don't know. You can post that, and maybe somebody will come up with an answer for you.
That's what I should do.
Hey, we should, let me take my glasses off so I can see here. We should just real quickly run down some of the events, and then we can tell a few stories. Coming up on December 7th, and we're getting close to the holiday break for the campus here, but
you look sharp in that hat, man. I'm fired up.
I feel.
After you go through events, you got to tell us the hat story.
Okay.
You went to great lengths for the hat.
I'll share the hat story. So on the 7th of December, we've got the Alton Symphony Orchestra. They're playing the concert. It's called Nutcracker, Sugar, Ice, and Everything Nice, and that'll be at the Hathaway Auditorium at 7 o'clock. And then on the 8th, we've got Switchback here on campus, a Celtic Christmas. And that'll be over in the chapel. That'll be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. On that same day, we have the occupational therapy assistant pinning ceremony. That's always a big day for lots of folks. Then on the 10th, all this holiday stuff starts kicking in. We've got the Lewis and Clark Rock Ensemble concert. That'll be back in the chapel again. That's at 7 o'clock. Then on the 11th, this should be fun, the Symphony Orchestra Children's Concert. It's 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the auditorium. Sounds like that'd be a good time. And then there's the holiday concert featuring Lewis and Clark faculty, students, and friends. So that encompasses a whole bunch of stuff. I'm surprised you're not in on that. You should at least be a friend, if nothing else. I guess you missed the invitation. That's going to be at 7 o'clock on the 12th. Then on the 16th, and I know we're getting a little ways out, but, it's give you plenty of time to plan your holidays. At 7 o'clock, the Lewis and Clark Jazz Band and the Alton High School Jazz Band getting together for a concert, an evening of jazz. That'll be over in the auditorium as well. And then also on the 18th, we've got the nurses pinning ceremony. That'll be at 6 o'clock. So, man, there's lots going on. Everybody trying to squeeze all that good stuff in before we get to our holiday break.
I can tell you the logistics days taught me one thing about this campus is between Thanksgiving and Christmas, we have 8 million things going on.
There
one
really
thing after another all the time.
And then things kind of go into hibernation for a while, and then you kick off into the new year, and it doesn't take long for things to fire right back up.
I would say that month right at the end of both semesters, it's just boom, 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 boom.
So real quickly, you want the hat story because we want to move along into our next segment for sure. But okay, so pardon me. So I ordered the hat online. You just don't have these things laying around anywhere, sort of like yours. And
we ordered at the same time.
We ordered it on the exact same time. It was supposed to be delivered at the exact same day by a well-known delivery company whose name I won't mention. Let's just say they didn't put a little smile on my face. It was supposed to Oh, did I? I'll bring in producer O. Did I say, or FCC going to get us for that, or are we okay?
No, we can until they
I'll leave
start
it to your
paying us to sponsor.
I'll leave it to
yeah, you should sponsor.
Yeah.
So
If they
what
wanna-
is the well-known little delivery?
The well-known delivery
Starts with an AM, ends with a
I didn't
Zod?
say. It remains nameless.
A2Z.
But anyway, yeah. So it was supposed to be delivered about 10 days ago. And a few days after that, it said it was delayed because I was tracking because I was beginning to get
It
worried.
looks like that hat was made from scratch, so I can understand.
Well, it probably took a lot of
Handmade.
effort. Yeah, I should look at the tag, but I'm not sure where it came from. Maybe that would explain why it took so long. So it still didn't come. So here we are. We got rolling up close to podcast day. Still didn't have it, and still delayed. And so then they tell me, okay, so now your package. It's sitting in the warehouse distribution center locally, although I won't name any particular warehouse center, but it was local. And it sat in there for 3 days. And I've been home. It could have been delivered, but for some reason it either missed the truck or the barcode scan didn't work or driver couldn't find the address. I only have 3 numbers on the mailbox. It's not terribly hard. So ended up having to drive down to, and I will say their name, Johnny Brock's, which is south of the Arch in downtown St. Louis. So $50 in gas later, I now have my hat for the podcast. And you got to do what you got to do.
So it cost you $55 for that hat.
Well, it's a little bit more than that, but
Okay.
yeah.
Meanwhile, my story with
your
this
story.
great
Yours
big
was
company
right on
that is
time.
always just right now. I'm thinking of something that I want, and it will just magically pop. Look, forks popped up right on my desk. I got mine the same day. Way to be, Amazon. If you want to sponsor one of my artificial turf fields, come on down to LC, and we'll put it right on there. Powered by Amazon.
My favorite part is that both of you thought you had to have hats for today, and you did not have to have them.
You got to, you need to add something.
Yes.
And add some character to the program.
Yes, we like doing that.
Mission
Halloween,
accomplished.
Thanksgiving. We could have a special coming up. We got to talk about you, producer, for the Christmas time.
The holidays are not over.
Yes, they're not.
For sure. So you never know what you're going to see on the A to Z.
I really
podcast.
think if we can pull this together, we got a special coming up for literally the holiday break that I think will be an ongoing tradition forever. And people
legendary.
Yes. But we got to talk about it after this. We got to get through this show.
Riveting.
So shall we go ahead and take a break, and then we'll bring our guest in for our next segment and continue with our Thanksgiving celebration here on the A to Z Across LC podcast?
I'm with you. I just did that post, and I got a new follower, Blue Mountain Women's Soccer. So shout out Blue Mountain wherever you are.
Do they know a Thanksgiving song, though?
Send us a Thanksgiving song if you got it, Blue Mountain.
There you go. All right, you want to take us out?
We are
LC A to Z.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark. I got my start in the radio program that put me on the path to where I am today. We still do radio, but now we're so much more. Podcasting, producing, and editing, not to mention new equipment, studios, courses, and a new name. If you want to work in professional media or create better content for the things you love, do like I did and discover your path at Lewis and Clark Community College. Enroll today at lc.edu.
And welcome back to the A to Z Across LC podcast. Jeff Alsman here, Cody Zipman alongside, and we are joined in the studio by Shane Callahan. He's the professor of exercise science.
Callahan.
I always pause for that. At the college, and he's here to talk.
What else does he do?
Nutrition. Well, he's also the golf coach. And you
Yeah,
probably
he's
wanna get
my
that in,
golf
right?
coach, baby.
Okay,
He's in the recruiting mode right now.
Here you are.
Are you
blowing the
putting
sound
the
on the
sound
board.
bar down?
I'm just
Yeah,
trying
get
to
everything on there.
ride the pod for you here so that, okay, now we're good. You're back to normal.
All right.
Welcome.
Sorry.
Welcome to our Thanksgiving celebration.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you with us.
Look how excited he is.
Yeah.
He's fired up. Appreciate you for having me.
So,
What are we talking about, Jeff?
well, I thought one big part of the Thanksgiving celebration is certainly food, right?
Yep.
Football, food,
Family.
family blessings, all of that kind of stuff. but we couldn't go by without, at least mentioning food. And so that brought us to nutrition, and that brought us to you. And by the looks of you, that's something that you watch, apparently. That appears to me that you do. And by the looks of me, it's also something I watch also. And but somewhere we're at a different level. So so tell us, how do folks that really, really are concerned about nutrition and health and all of that, how do they get through a Thanksgiving? And do they do things different? And can we get a camera on producer Lim? He's already started the celebration.
What? These are in front of each of us right now, so we're kind of having Thanksgiving.
Little leftover.
Doesn't that look good?
Leftover action.
Leftovers are like, one of the greatest things about Thanksgiving, right?
I thought we were eating together at the end, but Lim's over there, Max.
Well, I think he's already started it.
What is that, green bean casserole? Is that what that is?
Yeah,
it's what it was.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
I could have just went all the meat and potatoes.
Oh, you're not a veggie guy?
Can I trade you guys like your meat and potatoes for the green bean casserole?
I've seen you eating donuts and zingers downstairs, so don't pretend that you're real healthy.
So you've been
No, I know that, but I'm just saying this half of the plate.
You guys just go ahead and keep talking.
So how do we tackle Thanksgiving going into? What do we think about from a nutrition standpoint?
It's, there's lots of different ways to do it. It just depends on mainly what gets you through. There's not a right or a wrong. Ultimately, from the science, here's always science running it, as we're going to talk about in a little bit. It's calories in, calories out. So everybody eats more. Your serving sizes are typically bigger, and then you sit around, you reheat with the family. And I always try and teach it like a teeter-totter, that you've got your activity and then you've got your food on one side. And if your activity outweighs your food, you can keep kind of level. But if you start tipping too much food, not enough activity, then you're in positive caloric balance, then you're going to start gaining. But if we can get it the other way, you can start losing. So in my head, and what I found through the years with the clients is, if Thanksgiving's coming up, maybe we kick it hyper mode with activity, or maybe we just really watch what we eat or dial it back just a little bit a few days before. Kind of banking. It's not quite that simple. As behaviorally and also thermodynamically, it's a little more difficult.
Oh, he's using big words now.
Here's what I heard. If you're trying to get through Thanksgiving and you're really worried about it, you can't eat from Monday to Wednesday, and then you can max.
Then you can.
Otherwise, you're taking one scoop of each in your 3 visits, and you just got to wear it.
No.
While everybody's eating around you.
No, it's just, yes, that's true.
Or somebody's feeding you while you're doing push-ups.
We're not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No, it's really the portion size and how much, because typically families, you're either bouncing around family to family, or you're sitting there for 10 hours, and as you know, the food comes back out. And
when families gather, it seems like they tend to overdo it with the food anyway. Way more laid out a big spread than probably what's really needed. It just seems like that's kind of what you do.
Food on top of food.
Yeah, and some of the simple tricks are not taking calories in through liquid, which libations sometimes goes with the holidays, but drinking a diet soda or a diet tea or water, and cutting out some of those extra calories that you don't think about, like gravy even. Wait.
Cutting out gravy.
That's heresy.
Now, does that count is that a liquid or is that a
no gravy? So you guys, everybody's all good on Thanksgiving minus gravy.
That's kind of like carrot cake is part of the veggies on the food chain, right?
Exactly. Yeah, low calorie, low fat carrot cake.
Callie, you don't worry about this though on Thanksgiving, do you? Just max. I'm worried about it afterwards.
Sometimes.
If I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I might do a little weight check and then see and try and be good, but it's the holidays, so everybody lets their guard down, and that's normal. It's just some people are willing to come in afterwards and put on more effort to burn the calories, and some don't. So it's really what, hedge your bet. What's your strength? What's your strong point there? Are you better behaviorally at dialing back food early? Or are you better at kicking it in overtime after the holiday? Split the difference both ways. You can. It's just you got to find something that works for you that's manageable. Because as you know, you get back after the 4 or 5 days, you step on the scale and it's 5-10 pounds heavy, and then it's just super discouraging. And then you have Christmas and New Year's coming, so that just kind of piles on.
So a nice workout the morning of, for sure, to get it ready, and then just pick it up on your long weekend.
That'd be a good way because you can, especially if you're doing strength training, you're tearing up muscle tissue. So a lot of the proteins and a lot of the hopefully complex carbs, but that doesn't always work on Thanksgiving. But a lot of that goes towards recovery. So doing some damage up front will help you not feel at least as guilty about it when you get back to the everyday life. But yeah, it's a good strategy.
More difficult for some people based on just DNA. I mean, is it harder for some folks to burn calories because of that? Just part of their makeup is different? Or?
Your biggest variable is going to be how much muscle mass you have. So one of the most overlooked aspects of fitness is weight training because if you go on a walk,
I'll be right back after this bite of stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought everyone's supposed to be eating. That was what happened in the production meeting.
Like
the two fit guys aren't eating.
I'm waiting because I'm going to crush this on this side right now.
Yeah, this will be eaten. No worries there. But it's really figuring it out, right? It's the guilt that's the worst part about the holidays. Everybody comes back, but you're supposed to be celebrating. You're supposed to have a good time. That's part of it. Yep. And as Mike said, you can pick it up on the backside. You can pick it up afterwards, or you can kind of balance it through the ways. As far as genetics go, I mean, there are people with slower metabolisms. It's thyroid dictated, and some people are really lucky. But the more active you are, the more muscle mass you have, the better the outcome's going to be. So walks are great, but you burn a little more calories during the walk. And once you're done, you return back to your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. But if you lift weights, that BMR goes up 24 hours a day. So you're just a fuel-burning, efficient furnace. And you can get away with eating, more on the holidays and not seeing as much of an uptick on the scale. But I always encourage everybody, if you're not lifting weights, even if it's push-ups or air squats or walking lunges, just something that builds muscle mass most days of the week is a good habit to get
So the more intense workout have a longer lingering effect.
That's a trade-off too. Yeah, you can go slow and low, so you could do lighter weights, longer time in the gym, or you can go hard and heavy. That's a trade-off too, and that's the variability of the psychology to all of it. It's not a one-size-fits-all. I mean, if you see Zip work out, he's a maniac. If you see me, I'm not. Mike and I we do what we got to do, but I'm not in there screaming and grunting.
If you see me,
hey, that's the wrong Zipman. That's Corey.
If you see me, you're in the wrong place. So I just
you step back out and look at the door and go, "Yeah, this is right."
Yeah, that's what the workout room looks like. Okay.
So sorry to Miss D and Christine. Everybody right now should be lining up to room 215D or 215B to get your wellness program registration for the team member gym, because everybody needs to be in the gym before we go through the holiday season, because it burns more as we go through, correct?
It helps.
All right.
So food-wise, it's turkey obviously is going to be okay, right? It's lower in fat and no carbohydrates at all, or very little, I would guess.
None. Right.
Stuffing bad.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to think of it in good and bad per se. I think of it in calorie density. So, like Jeff was saying, cheesecake. Well, you want to...
Did I say cheesecake? Who said cheesecake?
Or carrot cake.
You were reading my mind. I don't think I said it. I think I was thinking
it. A piece of carrot cake can have 1,000+ calories in it. So if you like the holidays over time, it's better to partition it out in like turkey or green beans and stuff like that. But if you want that massive amount of calories in one setting, you can get it in a piece of carrot cake and it's done. I mean, you've got 1,000 calories in you within a couple minutes, where if you spread this out over time, you can kind of aromatize the calories through the day.
What do you say to that person that's got 3 stops on Thanksgiving? At the high point, I was the 4 stop. And I mean, you're an hour on the road. Now we're down to 3, and I think this year actually we're down to 2. What do you say to that person as you're going? Straight turkey every visit.
That's a tougher one, right? I mean, you got the family dynamics in there too, because you don't want to be rude. You don't.
100%. That's what happens.
So I would. This is only me speaking personally. I would probably partition it to like a protein stop, a carb stop, a dessert stop.
I love it.
I would sequence it out.
He does
Aunt Karen, you're just the carb stop, so just have those mashed
potatoes. And jog between visits, not drive. That might be the way to go.
I've never heard anybody do Thanksgiving like a poker run.
Yep.
Hey.
Or just indulge and just know what's going to come with it at the end.
I don't know. That could hurt some people's feelings because they'd know like what I like at each spot. Like the banana cream pie is like the middle stop, and they're like, why are you eating dessert here at that? Well, your turkey and everything else is not that great, but your banana cream pie crushes it. So
here's the advantage to that. If that's how you're going to do it, you plan it out, your timing of these different stops to which family member makes the best cream pie.
Yeah.
And that's when you want to hit the dessert stop. And who does the best turkey? If you've got family member A that doesn't do so well on the turkey, you hold them off for like the veggies. Yeah, so you can like plan. You can get the best of all stops that way.
You could.
You really could get creative with this a whole spreadsheet.
If you want to go that far, absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Next year we could just go over. Okay, what's the game plan?
You could. That would work.
I think somebody in the family's not going to like that. I have a feeling.
She won't, but she knows who she is. My mom's out there right now listening. So that banana cream pie, she knows every year I get 2 of them. And I'm not talking 2 slices. I get 1 for the birthday, right? And then the 1 for the visit of Thanksgiving. Boom.
Every year?
Every year. It happens once a year.
My daughter, Lindsay, I get my own chocolate pecan pie. I really shouldn't have it, but I don't ever tell her that.
Yeah. Good thing they don't listen.
Well, I don't tell her.
Oh.
So to wrap up the nutrition part,
yeah.
what you're saying is you can plan ahead of time, maybe take it easier earlier in the week, add some extra exercise, and then have fun on Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
Within reason.
Yeah, I wouldn't ask anybody to give up the family time and the fun. And this is, mealtime's part of family time over the holidays. So don't give that up. Just be aware. And if you have the uptick on the scale, then it is what it is. Already plan for that so you don't get discouraged that further kicks you down a hole that you don't want to drag yourself out of.
You said it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do you ever go full health mode, like the tofu turkey?
Me?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I ate a Baby Bell ice cream pint that was 900 calories last night before bed.
Have you ever dined with this guy?
No.
No, not really.
But I like where he's going.
No, what you would do is go, how are you possibly this fit?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you haven't stopped eating.
Do the
so
muscle
normally
thing
I would
before,
say
so
that, I would be right there with you watching. But one time I ran into him before class, and it was like early in a semester where, Jared's handing out all the donuts and stuff. And I seen this guy and he had like 2 or 3, and he told me, it's just all about, I know I'm putting this in my body today, so I'm going to have to give it up someplace else because this is the count. And so, like I said.
But that's simplified, right? He said this all along. It's calories in, calories out. Yeah, I'm guessing there's some things if you're diabetic or if there's some other issues that you have going on health-wise, but people try to find this magic thing. And exercise. You see people on treadmills at gyms and they just go and go and go, and there's no muscles being worked, right? So what is that again? So you're burning calories while you're doing the cardio, but after that it shuts down, but muscles burn all day.
Muscles burn all day, but also, the cardiovascular benefit of doing aerobic activity is important too. So you want to get the best of both worlds.
But isn't it really hard to get to calorie negative at the end of the day? A payday bar that's that long is probably like 300 calories. It takes like an hour and a half of walking to get to 300 calories. It just, I don't know where you ever catch up.
So it's to lose 1 pound of fat, you've got to be 500 calories down a day. So you could split the difference. You could walk for 40 minutes or whatever, 250 calories roughly, and you could cut out a soda or a payday, and you're at 500 calories. So if you do that for 7 days, that's 1 pound of fat, 3,500 calories. So that's why I always like the liquid, no calories through liquid, because it's an easy change to make to cut off and see a pound. I mean, if you drink beer, if you knock that out a little bit, you will instantly see the weight fall off, because at your best, you're getting 100 calories of alcohol, basically. Everybody touts the carbs, but the carbs don't really matter in a beer. There's 3 carbs in there. That's 12 calories. It's the alcohol calories that count, but the marketing tricks you into thinking half the calories of Mick Ultra's half the calories of whatever, right? And it's literally like 4 calories. There's nothing there. But they just take what the general public doesn't understand about the calories and market it in the backwards manner, and you think you're good.
So just one last question I have to ask, and then we will let you guys go so you can finish. Is the reason that you get in the recliner and fall asleep while you're watching football games, is it because of the stuff that they say is in the turkey? It's the age-old question everybody wants to know.
Here I am to ruin it like I said I would. It is not the tryptophan. It's massive quantities of food that changes circulation, so your blood gets, your belly gets priority over the food. Trickle in a little libations, which is a sedative. That's what makes you tired. So you get a massive glucose spike with insulin, and then you have a crash afterwards is why you get tired. But you have more tryptophan in a glass of milk or cheese, eggs, pork than you ever get in turkey. So it's just one of the lures of Thanksgiving.
You heard it here first, or at least last.
I'm sorry to everyone listening.
All right. It's good information. Why having this great meal with friends?
Yes.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving meal or food item? Which one?
I mean, the turkey and the mashed potatoes. However, you know the ones that you make, the homemade ones, where there'll be the chunks still left in?
In
like
the
you know they
potatoes?
mashed it?
Yeah.
My wife, Sid, does not like that. I love it. It reminds me of my grandma back in the day. She'd mash all those, and then there'd be those
Little
small
chunks?
pieces.
Yeah.
And I love that. So whenever I run into a meal that has that there, I mean, very rarely do I ever see that, but it's awesome. And the banana cream pie, which I talked about earlier.
What's your go-to?
My mom makes green or bacon wrapped green bean bundles.
Oh, wow.
With brown sugar on them and apple pie. That's it, hands down.
Do you go ice cream with that apple pie? Yeah.
Why would you even ask that? Of course.
I was just making sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy who sits there with the Ben & Jerry's 900 calories.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, some people go whipped cream instead of that.
Well, that is true.
That's why I always go ice cream.
Sugar-free cream whip.
Yeah.
What's yours, Mike?
Dressing.
Really?
Dressing
Homemade?
And
Yeah.
Dressing and probably because I only eat it once a year is pumpkin pie, or I love pecan pie too. But stuffing probably. Question about this though: my wife hates soggy food, like French dips, or I used to kid her that if she ever had cereal and she poured the milk on and our kid was choking, she'd eat that cereal before it got soggy before she would attend the kid choking. So I said, "You love dressing." She goes, "I said that's soggy bread." She goes, "It's cooked though." I'm like, "It's still soggy bread." Is stuffing not soggy bread?
It is, for sure.
Really is.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm not that picky, so I don't know that I have a favorite because we have done everything from turkeys to hams and different things like that as far as the main entree, and lots of different things other than your regular traditional sides. I just think I like the getting together part of it as family is part of the best, and the fact that food just happens to come along as a byproduct is just kind of like the icing on the cake. Although I do have to say the chocolate pecan pie it ranks up there pretty high.
I'd have to say Thanksgiving, not just the food, it's probably one of my favorite holidays.
My favorite.
I mean, it's Christmas has a lot of go and to and fro and a lot of, spinning out of control sometimes. But yeah, Thanksgiving is you do it, and then you've got 3 days after usually for most of us, I guess.
Yep.
All right. I guess that phone call says it's time to go.
I think it is. That's the alarm. That tells us it's time to finish eating.
Everybody out there have a happy Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And Shane, you want to take us out?
We are
LC A to Z.